Hey, RBA, this is the Tam. You know another guy named Mike? Make sure you check out my main man, Mike King Biz. Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m. on Sports 106.1. On the mic, with Mike, is the Tampin of Business Talk Radio. You're starting to irritate me.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the mic with Mike, the best business radio program around. We handle business, life, and everything in between.
I'm sorry. Can you just start over really quick? I apologize. Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the mic with Mike, back and better than ever. We bring you the game changer. So with us right now, friend of the program, Skylar Washington. Skylar, welcome back.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Okay, so Skylar's our young person correspondent. She's out there. Not only is she a young person out there, but she's also a public health nurse, and she keeps us up to speed. She is also our political correspondent, all things young. Oh, okay. And what's happening out there with you right now, Skylar? Please, and let folks know who you are really quickly.
Well, my name is Skylar. I am a public health nurse. I work for the local health department, Richmond City and Henrico County, and I manage long-term care facilities through their COVID outbreaks. So, they report a case to me, and then we kind of just go through all the steps, perform site visits. I can get testing for them, resources, and things like that.
Okay, so we talked about, I'm going to get my shot today. Shout out to all the folks. Talk a little bit about where we are with the pandemic. Hey, I was looking at the pictures down in Florida.
Oh,
Look like the young folks is out there dropping like it was hot. But I know,
Yeah.
but we had talked about before, and you were saying there were some old people like me dropping like it was hot. Well, we aren't dropping it like it's hot. We're just kind of wiggling it a little bit because it might hurt the next day.
A little bit.
A little bit. So what's happening as far as the pandemic and what's going on in the streets?
Yeah, so I will say, we're starting to see a little bit of a plateau in cases. The positivity rates are starting to drop in the city. So right now it's at 3.6, which is pretty awesome. And that's like the first time we've seen it low in a while. And in Henrico, it's at 5%. So that's good. But also there's a decrease in testing. So there's a little bit of both going on. I think as people are starting to get their vaccines, a lot of our long-term care facilities have been vaccinated. So we're starting to see a decrease in testing, which is good and bad. We don't really know how the vaccine kind of, I guess, affects testing. So we're kind of starting to see that now. We're starting to see, okay, should we test people after they've gotten the vaccine? Like, how effective is that? So I think that's kind of where we're at. I think that it's, the vaccine, people are getting vaccinated, I think by the millions daily, which is amazing. And I think that that's definitely going to stop, the large number of cases that we were seeing before.
So we talked in the past right there. How are the caregivers doing? Because when we had talked in the past, you guys were stressed.
Yeah.
What's the mood now? Is it better because there's a light at the end of the tunnel?
I would say yes, but I think also we're still a little bit anxious, right? So people are starting to lessen the restrictions in certain places, right? Mask mandates in certain states. And there's variants going around, right? And we don't know necessarily how the vaccine is going to interact with those variants, if it's going to be as effective. We know Pfizer and Moderna are at about 95%. Is that the same with the variants? We're not sure. So that's kind of what we're, holding our breath on. I will say, yes, the mood has definitely changed in my team. We're more hopeful because before, we were just, honestly, it felt like we were sitting ducks. We were just waiting for the COVID to enter the facilities, and then we were just trying to mitigate as best as possible. Now a lot of them are vaccinated. Like some of my facilities are at 98% vaccinated for the residents, and that's amazing because now we can kind of relax a little bit. And they can, go to doctor's appointments and not be as scared that they're going to contract COVID and then bring COVID back into their facility.
Are the facilities opening back up for family members to come and see? So we
They
can go see grandma now?
Yes, but with some restrictions. So please continue, to wear a mask. We understand that the general public is not as vaccinated, right, as the facilities. And then also, I've been kind of cautioning on children that can't get vaccinated because now we're starting to see like a post-COVID multi-system organ failure shutdown type thing happen in
Mm,
younger kids.
that does
Yes.
not sound good.
Yeah, so as the nursing homes, yes, they're opening up. We're having in-person visitation. Residents are allowed to leave the facility with their families in certain facilities. But I would caution against, because even because your resident, your family member is vaccinated, you could still get COVID from them. So now I would caution because we're getting the other side, right? So they're vaccinated, but you can still carry COVID and spread COVID even if you're vaccinated. So that's why we're saying, continue to wear a mask, continue to social distance. If you want to see your loved ones, continue to do those things because now it can kind of go the other way. And that's what I'm a little bit concerned about.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Skylar Washington, she is our young person correspondent. She checks a bunch of boxes for us too. So what's the move with young folks out there? What's happening in the street? I see, and shout out to your brother with the Carolina blue on. There you go, rocking it. What's happening as far as young folks go?
I think that people my age are super excited about the stimulus checks that are coming.
I bet.
We do feel that it's a little bit of a delay. And the fact that, it was 14 when we were promised 2000, and still no Republicans voted on the bill. So that was a little interesting to me that they were kind of negotiating with people, like the Democrats were negotiating with people that still didn't even vote yes on the bill. So we could have honestly, in my opinion, kept it at 2000 but that's okay.
Okay, so we've had the political conversation before as well.
Yeah,
And you were there with us on election day.
I was.
You were,
Yes.
yeah. And shout out to our good friend, the Republican.
Yes.
Let folks know about, because this is a new station, ladies and gentlemen, Sports 106.1, Skylar Washington. Let me go down the boxes that you checked. That you're young, you're a professional health nurse, you're Black. Yes, I see that, and you're Jewish.
Yes.
Okay, so we are touching on a number of boxes there, so you can give us some different perspectives.
Yes.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying I tried to.
Well, you do. Okay, so the idea of you're saying if they weren't going to give any blessing to the bill, you should have kept it at 2 G's.
That's how I personally feel. Because they tried to that was the whole argument, right? Like we're trying to negotiate with the Republicans, even though we control the House and the Senate. So I think that, there is a little bit of back and forth going on right now. I am glad that Joe Biden decided to sign it early. Because I think he was supposed to sign it like on Monday and he signed it last Friday. So
he put $1,400 in people's pockets.
he did.
I wonder if some of it left on Monday.
So that's the thing, right? So a lot of people are paying their rent with that. They're paying for groceries. Groceries are getting very expensive. I was at the grocery store the other day and I spent $150. And I was like,
okay,
so
the food thing is not as all cracked up to be.
Yeah, honestly. So and that's why DoorDash and like Uber Eats and stuff I think are becoming very popular is because people, one, don't want to go outside, and then two, groceries are getting to be expensive. So
if you keep giving it to the DoorDash and the Uber Eats folks, you're gonna want to get to that grocery store because it gets expensive doing that thing.
Right.
And that's the hard part. What happened? Okay, so what's the mood out there from a political standpoint? Are your compatriots are they still engaged, or are you guys starting to kind of calm down a little bit?
No, I would honestly say that it can go both ways, right? So I don't know if you saw some of the Grammys yesterday, but I was on Twitter and I saw when Little Baby performed, and I don't know if you saw the spoken word that
Yes.
happened in the middle. Yeah. So I think, and she called him out.
She called out
Like,
Joe Biden.
yeah,
She did.
and I thought that was amazing. So I think that there are
Can
definitely
I ask you a
some people-
question?
Yeah.
Are you gonna call out Biden already?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna remind you what you said. Is that what it is?
So, I mean, personally, yes, because he got up on that stage, right? And he said, Black people, I have your back, right? He said
And
that.
she's just reminding them.
Yes, because I mean, he said that. And what policy have we seen that's really going to affect Black people? And even when he was asked, or his chief of, I think, no, secretary, the person that does the press
The
conferences.
press secretary
Yes.
who comes out and
So-
gives the speeches
Yes.
every day.
Yeah. So she was asked actually about reparations, I think last week, and she kind of danced around it. So it's kind of, and basically was like, oh, but we're doing this and the COVID relief and the $15 minimum wage, and we're going to do a study. That's all great. But like, you didn't answer the question. How do you feel about reparations? Because that's something that would directly benefit generations of Black people.
Okay, so here, this is coming from the old man who says, all right, kid, get off my lawn. So this guy ran for a job. He went to apply for a job, Joe Biden. He went to apply for a job that you don't, and you made all these promises that you were going to do, but you didn't see the fine print because we couldn't show it to you until the first day on the job.
Yeah.
And then the first day on the job, they bring you into a room and they say, hey, Skylar, this is what it is. And you look up and like, oh, wow. I didn't realize, because you wanted to get a job that you didn't have all the details on. And then you got to realize, okay, how am I going to tell these people all the stuff that I said? So now you got to sort of do the dancing act to say, well, I said I was going to do that, but I really didn't know. And so it's sort of, I think sometimes when people get like that, you make promises and then you realize, uh-oh, I may not be able to do all those.
But I will say though, if it is that type of situation, I personally feel like he's not really carrying it that way. I feel like there's not a lot of transparency. So
Okay.
I feel like if it was that way, then I would love for him to come out and be like, you know what? I said I had y'all's back, but this is actually the barriers to this. And
Okay.
these are things that I can actually do. Because I mean, even Bernie Sanders, when he was running and even after, he put out his first 100 days. And it looks a lot different than Joe Biden's 100 days,
Okay.
So
All righty, let's talk sports.
I can try.
One of the Heat players got in trouble for a Jewish slur.
I saw that.
And you're laughing at that one.
No, I'm laughing because did you see his apology?
Well, okay, let's talk on that. You've had to explain to people that you didn't just get to be Jewish. You had to. And when people say, hey, come to my church, you'll say,
why don't you come to my synagogue one day?
and all of a sudden, hold up a sec. Let's not get radical here.
Exactly.
Let's not take things too far.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about society, being Jewish and then being a Jew of color. See, I had never heard of that until I met your group.
Yeah. You were on
the Zoom. I didn't know that there were Black Jews in Richmond. I'm like, where'd you guys come from?
And there's like 5 of us.
There were 5 more than I knew.
You're right. So I was actually born Jewish, and a lot of Jews of color converted, but there are a lot of us that were born Jewish, and that, yes, it is definitely an interesting place to be in, because I mean, it's just like being Black regularly. Right, you just add the other layer of
another dose of something that goes on top of it. Right. So that you've had some of the things that we've talked about in the past. You've had some interesting conversations with people about explaining to people that you are Jewish, and you thought the apology from our man, the Heat player, was a little bit, would you say, weak? Or I need to say something, and I'm not sure.
No, I don't believe it. So he basically was like, I didn't know that was a bad word. How do you not know that? Like, I listened to it, and he is like saying so many words in that whole thing, like F this, F this, F this, and then the word. So I'm like,
he knew what all those words meant.
Right.
But
And
when he
how
got to
do
the
you
one
not
that
know
he got
that?
called out on it, I don't know what that one is.
So to me, that kind of, but it also brought up a big discussion, so I follow a lot of Black Jewish people on Twitter from around the country. And it really brought up a discussion on that, right? On how, as Black Jews, we kind of we get it from all sides. We can get
Yes.
it from that part, but we can also get it from white people saying the N word. And it was interesting to me that I feel that he didn't want to say the N word, and
So
that's why he
use
said
that one.
the N word.
So, well, he bypassed my group and
Right?
then he nailed you. That's like, hey, well,
Honestly,
well, you got to
honestly,
pass on the first one. The
that's
second
how
one,
I felt
second one
when
nailed
I
you.
was listening to it. That's how I felt. So it was kind of, and then I feel, it also brought up on Twitter just the ignorance, right, of Black Jews, of Jews of color. And there's not just Black Jews, there's Asian Jews, there's Indian Jews, there's Jews everywhere. Um, and I mean, Latin American Jews. But yeah, so it really brought up a lot of conversations within, just because a lot of Jewish people got mad, and then they were talking about the owners of the
Jewish.
Heat. I think they're Jewish, and then I think
Jewish, yeah.
Adam Silver is also Jewish. So it was just interesting.
You didn't
That
want he didn't want to get in trouble that says, say, some of our best friends are Jewish, because you're going to get in trouble with that line.
and yeah, and I get it from both sides, right? So again, so people will say anti-Semitic things and then be like, wait, but I know Jewish people. And then on the same token, they'll say anti-race or anti-Black things and then be like, right, but I have Black friends.
All right,
Just
ladies.
like the royal family. Sorry.
I know. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, Skylar Washington, she's checking off boxes for us. So now the next box I have to go to is, you haven't lived a traditional, what a lot of society would say is the young Black person's life, the life of struggle.
Well, yes, and
Okay.
okay, my mom's a doctor, yes.
Okay, your mom's a doctor. Okay. And so you and we talked about going for the school that you went to and then going over to some of the other schools and how people perceive you at times.
Yes.
And understanding the privileged life that, the best schools, all those things. Let's touch on that for a little bit, because sometimes society doesn't know how to deal with you, but they know how to deal with the stereotype.
100%. And I definitely think that my brother is, taller than me and darker than me. So he gets that definitely more than I do. But growing up, I went to Glen Allen High School, and I was actually the third graduating class of that school. And we pretty much knew, the Black kids there, we knew that the school was built so that kids didn't have to go to Hermitage. And Hermitage was literally a mile down the road, if that, from Glen Allen. And they literally had chalkboards in every single room. Their textbooks were not the best. Ours, we had
The best of everything.
windows everywhere, Promethean boards in every single room. Our textbooks were new. Our lab equipment was new. Everything was new. And so when, football games, right? So Hermitage would come and play football games or vice versa. And you just, as a Black person going to Glen Allen, and I know a lot of people felt this with me, we felt bad. We felt really bad because, we're less than a mile down the road, and just because of where we live, like I know one guy, his friend in the one street over was at Hermitage, and the line was like that cutoff was like one road, and he almost got on the wrong bus, and he went to Hermitage one day on accident, with his friend.
And shock set in, like, whoa.
He's like, this is not where
this is not the place, because you have to answer to, you're different than the kids the white kids who are out at Glen Allen.
100%.
Different than the Black kids who go to Hermitage.
Because they're looking at us like we're very elitist, right? Like we're just like, hoity-toity, I guess, but we weren't. We just got put in this school, and that's what happened, the zoning. So, but it was hard. And I've even heard now that the zoning is still changing for Glen Allen. Somebody that I actually work with has kids that go to Hungry Creek, And she's like, I don't know what's going to happen next year because they're building more neighborhoods behind Magnolia Ridge, which is like this white neighborhood on like one side of Brook Road, because then the other side of Brook Road is Hermitage. So,
ladies and gentlemen, Skylar Washington, she is our young person correspondent. We're going to go away and take a break. Skylar, can you hold with us? I know you got lives to save out there, but we got to go pay bills around here. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, in just a moment. Skylar Washington is our game changer. Thanks now.
Hi, this is Andy with Junk Luggers. Have you ever wondered why you see the big green junk lugger trucks racing all over town hither and yon? It's because we've taken an eco-friendly approach to junk and furniture removal. Instead of dumping items in the landfill, we work with local area charities to donate, repurpose, and recycle the items, keep them out of the landfill, and give back to the local communities to those in need. You can find out more about us at www.junkluggersofcentralva.com or give us a call at 804-299-3814.
Hi, Chef Michelle here of Mama Chef Cafe, home of the Soul Rolls, located at 10811 Whole Street Road. Give us a call at 804-912-1644 or order online at mamachef.com. Ask about our off-site catering options as well as our online ordering through Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. Follow us on all social media at Mama Chef Cafe. That's Mama Chef, Soul south of the James. Mention Mike on the mic and get a free dessert on us. Special rules apply.
Whoa, are homes disappearing before you have time to make an offer? Are you getting outbid over and over? Folks, you're missing out big time if you don't have a proactive, experienced real estate team working for you. Sellers, if you want to make a killing in this market, let me create a feeding frenzy for you. I'm Bernice Sim, and I run the Happy New Beginnings team with RE/MAX Commonwealth. We help you win big. Let's chat. 804-874-8890. Are you ready for your happy new beginning?
Hey everyone, it's Heather Marie Speaks, and I'm on the mic with Mike on Mondays at 6 a.m. on 106.1 FM, bringing you encouragement, motivation, and mental health awareness with a little bit of fashion infused. Join me every Monday at 6 a.m. on 106.1 FM. And I want to personally invite you to my newest venture, Queen Bee & Company, an English tea, wine, and event venue located at 21 West Main Street in downtown Richmond. Come and enjoy high tea, host your special event, or stop by for some self-care and mental health and just enjoy a nice cup of tea. I look forward to seeing you soon.
This is Danielle Fitzhugh, the president of the Chesterfield Chamber of Commerce. Listen to us on Chamber Wednesday as we talk about how to promote, protect, and invest in Chesterfield businesses. Tune in to 106.1 on Wednesdays for Chamber Wednesday so you can listen to how we can support, invest, and promote your business right here in Chesterfield County. Find the Chesterfield Chamber of Commerce at chesterfieldchamber.com or on all of your social media accounts at Chesterfield Chamber VA.
The world is starting to open up. Are you ready to date? Bloom Matchmaking is a safe, effective way to meet successful professionals. Everyone is vetted, background checked, and all matches are based on scientific compatibility. Let Bloom Matchmaking take the stress out of dating. We offer a personalized experience. Your success is our success. Contact us at bloommatchmaking.com or give me a call at 804-244-1398. Bloom Matchmaking, where love grows.
My name is Jimmy Comer, co-owner of RBI Services. RBI can help businesses and individuals with their accounting, tax, and insurance needs. With over 20 years of experience, we will properly guide you at a fair price. Whether you need accounting, tax preparation, or insurance, contact us to see why we say at RBI, it all begins with the relationship. Call us at 804-677-9516. RBI is a proud supporter of Better Together as they help support families of children with complex illnesses.
With Mike. On the mic with Mike. On the mic with Mike. On the mic with Mike. I'm on the mic with Mike. He's like a guru. No, he's a businessman with a great radio show. And he supports the nonprofits. Watch his show and grow.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the mic with Mike, back better than ever. We are here with Skylar Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Skylar, thank you. let's talk. Let people know how they can find you once again.
Yeah, so I'm on pretty much everything as Sky Washington, SKYE Washington. Um, yeah.
Anything new and exciting you want to share with our listeners?
Um, well, so actually, I have been offered a job at Children's National in DC. So instead of being a public health nurse, I'm now going to be a pediatric nurse, and I'm very, very excited. So, but I will say that I don't think that public health is going to be, very far. Children's National does so much in the community, especially in like Southeast DC. So I'm very excited for that. And I've also, been talking to my team at VDH, and I'm sure that I'll be back. But I do need to go get my hospital experience because I don't have any yet. So
Where'd you go to college?
so I went to GW for nursing school.
So that's your connection to the DC area.
Yeah, well, so my mom moved up here. I don't know if I told you.
No.
Yeah, so my mom moved up here. She lives in Southeast DC. She works for MedStar and for Georgetown Hospital Center. So I moved too because I can't be that far away from my mom apparently. But yeah, so it's actually kind of cool because my mom went to GW for medical school, and she did all of her, clinicals at Children's National. So now I'll be working
Now
there.
they got you. Ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, Skylar Washington doing big things out there. So congratulations on all of that. That's really doing some outstanding things. You got to stay, connected to us. You're out there doing big things. So Sky Washington on social platforms.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Everywhere.
That's all of them. Yeah.
That's how it is. Just Google me, man. That's how it is when you're out there. We'd like to thank you for coming on. You're always a great guest here, giving us information and insight. We really appreciate it. All righty, Skylar, thanks. Now take it. Tell mom I said hello. Tell your brother I said hi as well.
I will. Thank you for having me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Skylar Washington on the mic with Mike, the best business radio program around. We'd like to thank Skylar. Up next, we're going to have Tom Childry, the credit card guy. He's going to be here with us talking about this tenacious top of mind. On the mic with Mike, we bring you the best and brightest that Richmond and the metro area has to offer. We'd like to thank you, ladies and gentlemen. On the mic with Mike, 106.1 Sports Radio. Thanks. We'll be back.